We'll call the meeting to order and have a roll call by the secretary.
Here.
Mr. Overland.
Here.
Mr. Love. Mr. Burridge.
Here.
Mr. Huckabee. Mr. Alexander. Mr. Burgess.
Here.
Mr. Regan.
Here.
The chair declares a quorum present to conduct business, and we'll entertain item number 95 after we introduce our guest, OHP Commissioner Rusty Rhodes. Thanks for being with us today. If you guys don't know the commissioner, he's sitting up here by the director. Appreciate you being here today. Item 96 is the approval of the minutes of the meeting of July the 2nd, 2018. Do we have a motion?
Motion to approve. Second.
Have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Hearing none, please vote. Motion passes. Thank you. The consent docket today is made up of items 96 and 97. We'll remove any of those items and discuss them separately if any commissioner wants to. Otherwise, I'll hear a motion.
Motion to approve.
Have a motion to approve.
Second.
Have a second. Any discussion? Hearing none, please vote. Motion passes. Thank you. Item 98 is the engineering contract that Mr. Tigler is going to present.
Thank you. Good morning, Mr. Chairman, members of the commission. Item 98, the engineering contract, is in Cleveland County this month in District 3. This is to provide preliminary engineering and prepare construction plans for State Highway 9. This is with C.H. Guernsey and Company for $694,624. Your approval is recommended, and I can answer any questions if you have any.
You've heard the presentation by
Motion
Mr.
to approve.
Tigler. We have a motion to approve.
Motion to approve. Second.
Have a second. Any discussion? Hearing none, please vote. Motion passes. Mr. Tigler, you may present 99.
Thank you. Item 99, I would like to request at this time to remove Part B from the agenda. All I'll have this month is Part A. Statewide, all districts are on-demand land surveying contract. We've previously selected 4 consulting firms to do our on-demand land surveying services. At this time, we need to supplement Keystone Engineering and Land Surveying for $250,000. This will bring the aggregate not to exceed amount for their contract to $500,000. Approval is recommended, and I'll answer any questions if you have any at this time.
The presentation is for item A and a removal of item B. Do we have a motion?
Motion to approve.
Have an approval?
Second.
I have a second of that. Any discussion? Hearing none, please vote. Motion passes. Thank you, Mr. Tigler. Mr. Leonard will present the change orders. Item number 100 is the change orders under $75,000, and unless a commissioner has a question about those for Mr. Leonard, we'll move to the change orders that are greater than $75,000. Are there any questions on the change orders under $75,000? Mr. Leonard, you may present item 101.
Mr. Chairman, members of the commission, I'd like to present item 101, parts A through DD. These are the change orders on projects that have a cumulative total of change orders in excess of $75,000. Your approval is recommended. I'll be glad to answer any questions.
You've heard the presentation. Do we have a motion?
Motion to approve.
Have a motion to approve?
Second.
Have a second. Any discussion? Please vote on item 101. Thank you, Mr. Leonard. Item 101 passes. We'll move to item 102. Ms. Helms will present the lettings.
Good morning, Mr. Chairman, members of the commission. Agenda item 102 has 2 parts. Part A and B are for the final October and tentative November 2018 bid openings, and the department requests and recommends approval of this item.
You've heard the presentation. What's your pleasure?
Motion to approve.
Have a motion to approve.
Second.
Have a second. Any discussion? Hearing none, please vote. Motion passes. Thank you. Mr. Saliba will present item 103 and 104. We'll hear 103 first.
Sorry about that, Mr. Chairman, Commissioners. Agenda item 103 is termination of a construction contract. The project number is SSR-115B as in boy, 105 in parens, SR. Project's resurfacing asphalt on US 75 from State Highway 3 and extend north near Colgate in Division 3. Approval is requested to terminate this contract in accordance with subsection 108.11 of the standard specifications. This contract was awarded by the Transportation Commission in February 2016 to Glover and Associates for a total of $3,600,028.59. The project has incurred significant delays resulting from unforeseen site conditions and discrepancies in the plans, which have made it extremely difficult to construct the project as designed. This is evidenced by the fact that there is $292,569.80 worth of change orders either approved or pending. The extended duration caused by the delays have also resulted in additional costs for materials, equipment, and labor, which have to be absorbed by the contractor and their subcontractors, or passed on to the department in the form of change orders or claims. After much discussion with the contractor, the field division, senior staff, and the subcommittee on operations and administration, it was concluded that the best course of action would be to terminate this contract, make appropriate revisions to the plans, and let it at a later date. The contractor and their subcontractors have agreed to this termination and asked that they be reimbursed for the work that they have performed with no additional cost to the department. Your approval is respectfully requested.
You've heard the presentation.
What kind of time delay are we looking at here, Darren?
As the delays incurred in the project or the delay before we redo the plans?
Before we redo the plans?
That'll kind of be up to Division 3 and the management of their budget. But it is an important project, so I'm sure that they'll get it redesigned and back on a bid opening at the appropriate time.
Do we have a motion?
Make a motion to approve.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any more discussion? Hearing none, please vote. The termination has been approved. Item 104.
Again, thank you, Mr. Chairman. Item 104 discusses highway construction contractor pre-qualification. Specifically, Oklahoma Administrative Code Rule 730, 25-3-1, titled Pre-Qualification. What is being proposed here is amendment to our current procedures. Pursuant to the Public Bidding Act, Section 61, Paragraph 118, the department requires prospective bidders to pre-qualify as responsible bidders prior to submitting bids on a public construction contract in compliance with Administrative Rule 730, 25-3-1. Significant amendments have been developed to that rule and are being developed to that rule and are set out in the attached proposed rule that are intended to simplify the procedure, reduce costs for contractors, and enhance the integrity of department bid lettings. The department requests the commission to authorize the proposal of this amendment to the pre-qualification rule referenced above pursuant to Administrative Procedures Act 75, paragraph 303. Commission approval of this item is recommended, and I'll try to answer any questions you may have.
Thank you, Mr. Saliba. You've heard the presentation for item 104, the change in the pre-qualification.
Motion approved.
We have a motion.
So this is the beginning of the process, as I understand it, right?
Yes, sir. Your approval today allows us to initiate the process, which is very deliberate and very time-consuming. In fact, our goal is to have this process certified under the new administrative codes with a lot of procedures to go through, hopefully in June or July.
And the public will get a chance to look at these rules and comment on them, and there's even a public hearing, as I understand it.
That is correct.
Mr. Saliba, the exact words that are in the document that was presented today, it doesn't mean that these are the final words then, if all of these things may still evolve through public meetings and changes and discussion with your senior staff and the industry itself, correct?
That is correct, Commissioner.
So the process is all we're approving today to move forward.
Indeed.
I second the motion.
We have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Please vote. Item 104 passes. Thank you, Mr. Saliba.
Thank you,
Mr.
sir.
Dels will present item 105, the awards.
Morning, Commissioners. Mr. Chairman, item 105 are our recommendations for awards. The first part here is with regard to a deferral from the June 14th bid opening. The following item referred to by Calder was deferred from the June 14th bid opening. It is now recommended that the item be awarded to the low bidder. That was called order 795, and we're recommending an award with just the base bid for that project. It is recommended that the following items from the July 19th bid opening referred to by Calder be awarded. It's called orders 130, 135, 140, 160, 170, 180, 210, 235, 250, 270, 290, 305, 310, 330, 335, and 340. And lastly, it is recommended that the following item from the July 19th bid opening referred to by Calder be rejected, and that's Calder 120. This concludes our recommendations for awards, and your approval is requested.
Thank you, Mr. Dels. You've heard his presentation of the awards. Do we have a motion?
Motion to approve.
We have a motion to approve.
Second.
We have a second. Any further discussion? Hearing none, please vote. Well, we'll see if this thing's gonna work, or if somebody hadn't voted. There we go. We finally got your approval, Mr. Dels.
Thank you.
We just wanted to see you sweat a little bit. With the unanimous consent of the commission, I would propose that we move the executive session till after the director's report. Do I have that consent?
Yes.
Item 106 will be moved to after the director's report. Item 107 will be heard. Mr. Secretary, Director, and all those other titles you have, and initials.
Mr. Chairman, on that last vote you just took, there was a no vote. So could we back up and re-vote that, please? I pushed the wrong button. Yes, sir, you pushed the wrong button, so. Actually, I was pushing the right button. Then it wouldn't execute?
That's
Okay,
what everybody
so
says when they push
we
So
the
could-
button.
what happened? Because mine came up with 5.
Well, when it faded to black, it had a 4-1 vote.
Oh,
So I
Look
thought,
there.
Mr. Chairman, you might want to re-vote that.
well, we're gonna re-vote item 105, the awards, so reset to 0.
For him, I'm
Now
ready
it
to
is. Okay, now we'll vote. Who do you show not voting? Brad. Okay, we'll dispense with the electronic voting. Call the roll.
Mr. Fiddler?
Aye.
Mr. Overland?
Aye.
Mr. Burridge?
Yes.
Mr. Burgess? Mr. Regan?
Yes.
Motion passes. There you go, Mr. Dales. Item 107 is Director's Report. Roll on.
Mr. Dels now holds the record for the longest vote ever taken by a commission. And I know he's proud of that.
Well, we'll figure out what
Yeah,
Mr.
what's going
Burgess
on
is.
over here?
We put him on the spot, though. He had to speak up.
Mr. Chairman, members of the commission, thank you. Before I get started, I need to let you know, I don't know if you're aware of this, but today is Sherry's birthday. You know, when she and I sit down to put the calendar together, she said, I don't want to have the commission meeting on my birthday. And I said, well, we got to do it anyway. So we'll just go ahead and do it. And so I can't, you know, you never reveal the age of anyone, particularly women. So I'll just tell you there's a 0 and a 5 involved in that, and you arrange those numbers however you think is most appropriate.
Known to have music up here before.
I know you have. I know you have. So happy birthday, Sherry. I've got a kind of a long list here. I'm really excited about some of the stuff on here. This one I'm not. Today is the last commission meeting for our chief engineer, Casey Shell. Casey has been the proverbial right arm, left arm for me. We have waded through as my chief engineer. We've been to Lexington, Purcell several times. And you know, as Casey will tell you, it's further down there than you think it is. It takes a lot longer than you think it is. We've been all over the state together. He's been a huge asset for me. But Casey's career didn't start when he became the chief engineer. He's had an illustrious career. We have a 3P program where we can use federal funds to do some things that we couldn't used to do, and it's now done nationally, and he invented it right here in Oklahoma. Casey is, you know, started as an EIT from the University of Arkansas. So, what was that? They're everywhere, Mr.
Hey,
Chairman.
that was weak. If you're gonna do it, you gotta do it.
If you're coming. But, Mr. Chairman, I know that Casey wanted to say a few things to the commission, being his last meeting. And if you can come to his retirement party at the end of the month, that'd be even greater.
Mr. Chairman, Commissioners, was not an easy decision. Boy, was it difficult. This agency is such a professional agency, professionally run and managed, and that was the only way that I could feel good about leaving, is knowing that there's staff here that can easily take my place and keep the momentum going for the department. But it causes you to look back. You know, you start looking back at your career, and Mike, thank you for the kind words. One of the things that I'm particularly most proud of in my career is the development of the 8-year program, which you all are a part of. We developed it, implemented it, and we perpetuate it. Every year we get together, and I personally have looked forward the whole time of the 8-year program, meeting with the division engineers and all the thought that goes into that, all the work that goes into that, and getting that in a manageable state and in order when we come meet with you all and throw it out in front of you and let you all comment and look at it and see what you think. But I think that is a milestone in my career that I think will serve the department forever. It's something that is so very important, and the department really, really changed when that happened, and it changed for the better. I just want to say thank you for your support of me personally and of the department. You all are a big part of why this agency is what it is. and the fact that we are, I'll say it again, in my opinion, the best state agency in the state of Oklahoma because of the efforts of the folks that work here, my friends, I'm gonna miss them terribly, and you all. Thank you very much.
Casey talked about the 8-year plan, and he was one of those division engineers when we started the 8-year plan, and he had to sit down and take some projects out of his construction program to fit it into fiscally constrained 8-year plan. Not an easy task. Speaking of the 8-year plan, as Casey said, we're in the midst of it. I know we have meetings with each one of the commissioners this month, so we can bring it to the full commission in September. So I appreciate the time that you've carved out for us in the coming weeks, so we can sit down with you and get your individual final thoughts before we bring it to the full commission in September. This last Thursday, something that I've been working on for 2 or 3 years, Casey's been working on it with me, is we held our first autonomous connected vehicle task force meeting in this room. And what this task force is going to look like or go about is looking at what the future of transportation looks like. And the future of transportation is going to involve many things, we believe. Some level of autonomy of vehicles, trucks that are connected so that they are electronically connected as they drive down the highway. It'll be efficient for them. There'll be fuel savings. But there's laws that have to be changed and adapted, rules and regulations, not only federally, but here in the state of Oklahoma. We are not the first task force in the country, but we are one of the first. I have purposely waited this long, listening to counsel from some of my colleagues from around the country. Obviously, Michigan and California are on the forefront because of Detroit and Silicon Valley. But we have positioned ourselves, we're one of the first 10 to have a task force to really begin to look at what needs to be changed. Secretary Rhodes, who's sitting at the table, is part of that task force, along with other state agencies, legislators, universities, so that we can come to some resolution of what the future might look like and how we have to adapt and change to the technology of the vehicles and what the users of the system will demand in the future. We know it's not tomorrow, but it's going to be within 30 years. And you know, based on your experience, that the things we're designing today are designed for 30 years. So we have to begin looking at these types of suggestions and conversations. One of the things that we're going to talk about, and it came up the other day in our task force meeting, was electric vehicles and electrification of the system and what that means to transportation funding. Is automobiles appear to be going more electric and getting away from the internal combustion engine. So we're going to have further discussion with the task force about that and what we might suggest to the legislature. But on the row that you park on, down at the end of that row, I suspect by the time you come here next time, there will be a fully operational electric vehicle charging station. You can already see we've got the pole there, we've got that electric run, we just need the pedestal. So we're embracing this technological change and what that might mean. I don't think any of you have an electric vehicle yet. I'd love to have a Tesla. Anybody got a Tesla? I just want to touch it. But, so we're going to put that in. It's being donated by a local company here that wanted to put one in the capital area, and Don Sullivan asked if I want it, and I said, yes, please put it in. So we're gonna have that for you. A few months ago, we had a project that you awarded at I-35, I-235, and I-40, commonly referred to as the Dallas Junction. If you recall, westbound to southbound is one lane, northbound to eastbound is one lane. Traffic backs up, congestion, primary accidents with secondary accidents, really a bad thing. You awarded a contract to allow us to put an additional lane on both of those movements. And I think I made the statement, that'll be the best money we spent this year. It's open. And I'm being told that it's working just as we had hoped. The traffic is flowing through there better than it has and probably since the thing was built. So we're excited about that. If you have a chance, go through it. I did the other day. It works great. Congratulations to the contractor. Fabulous job. Something, and I mentioned in one of our subcommittee meetings, I'm old enough to have a bucket list. This next item has been on my bucket list for a decade. And that's the introduction of motorist assist vehicles to the Department of Transportation. When we adjourn this meeting, you'll be able to go outside and see our new ODOT vehicles. I want you to take a look at them. I want you to see what it looks like, what it will mean to transportation on our heavily traveled thoroughfares. Initially, the ODOT vehicles, there's two of them, are going to be working this I-235 project over here at I-44. In conjunction with the Federal Highway Administration, we were able to purchase these as part of our project cost, and so we're going to be working that project. So if somebody runs out of gas, which is amazing how you can run out of gas, not 5 miles before or 5 miles after, but right there in the work zone, or if you have a flat tire, we're going to get on to your vehicle and get you serviced with enough gas to get you on your way, get you pulled out of the way, so that we don't have those backups and those accidents behind, and then secondary accidents behind that. We're really looking forward to this opportunity. We're going to do the same thing in the Tulsa area. Initially, as I said, it's going to start at this construction zone. Once that's completed, then the ODOT vehicles will be in other work zones, other parts of the city, and we'll be able to help people get out of the way so that they're not the cause of backups and collisions. So I get to check a box today, and I'm really excited about that. So take time after the commission meeting and take a look at, and I would invite everybody behind me to go look at those vehicles. Mr. Chairman, that's all I have. If there's any questions or anything I may have missed.
You guys have any questions of the secretary? All right.
I do have one other thing, if I might, because I forgot this. The main reason Commissioner Rhodes is here is because he wanted to speak on the ODOT vehicles, and I apologize for that. Could I ask Rusty to come up?
That's a major mess up.
Especially for a guy in law enforcement that could get me out of trouble if I called him.
After our discussion this morning, you don't know how important that is?
I know. So, Mr. Chairman, Rusty Rhodes.
We welcome the commissioner.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, members, and it will be a long drive home for Secretary Patterson, I can assure you that. If I can have just a quick moment of privilege, I would like to say thanks to Casey as well on behalf of the Department of Public Safety. Working with him and his staff throughout all these years has been a true pleasure for us. The knowledge and the kindness he's brought to the table and the partnership that he has helped us maintain throughout all these years has been a huge positive for us, I know. And secondly, I do want to point out too, and I didn't realize that Casey was kind of at the ground level of the 8-year plan. And I tell you, I'm going to throw this out there, so you guys are going to scoop this a little bit. I actually have a press conference in Tulsa as soon as I leave here. And I'm part of that conference. I'm going to announce we're adopting that model to get our ranks of the highway patrol up to speed where it needs to be, as well as that same model, which will mirror all of that, to get our DL staff and our DL service division up to speed as well. So not only has it done a great thing for transportation, but it's done a great thing for service throughout this state. So thank you for that. And having said that, the GODOT, I have to concur with Secretary Patterson. What a great idea. This is going to save lives. There's not a doubt in my mind. I've been a trooper for 27 years. I've been on those motorist assist, those stalled vehicles in the construction zones. I've been to those crashes that happen because the roadway is shut down. I've seen lives changed. I've seen lives end because we couldn't get someone to them quick enough to resolve that issue. So thank you for your foresight on this. It's a great idea. My troopers are excited about it. I've already been telling them about it. We can't wait till they get out there. And I certainly hope someday, and maybe hopefully we can even partner on this, to see a fleet of these to get out there and not only take care of the people in our state, but to protect your employees and my employees as well, to keep everybody safe. So thank you again for your foresight, and I look forward to this opportunity. Thank you again.
Thank you, Commissioner Rhodes. Commissioner, there's a statement that accompanies that 8-year plan that you need to adopt at the same time, and it's "the truth will set you free." That's what we connect to the 8-year plan. Go ahead, Mr. Director.
We have a short video on GODOT, short video.
I wonder if we're going to get to see it.
Yeah, so let's take a look at our GODOT video.
When you're on the go, the last thing you want to encounter is slowed or stopped traffic, especially in a work zone. The Oklahoma Department of Transportation aims to lessen delays and the potential for secondary crashes through a new GODOT work zone program. 2 custom-designed Ford trucks are rolling out to the I-235 work zone between 36th Street and the I-44 interchange in Oklahoma City to help keep traffic moving. The service will operate from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. on weekdays. The trucks have been outfitted with the necessary equipment to quickly help a stranded motorist get moving again, or tow a disabled vehicle out of the work zone to the nearest safe location. Safety is ODOT's highest priority, and implementing the GODOT Work Zone program is one more way to make Oklahoma's roads safer and keep you on the go.
Commissioners, I can't tell you how much we appreciate Allen Contracting for continually working to get these 2 trucks outfitted where we could get them on the road. So congratulations to Allen Contracting also, who are going to be operating these vehicles until this project is completed. Now, I think I'm safe to say again, any questions?
He forgot about half his agenda there, guys.
He's just too excited about this project.
There you go.
That's terrible.
Well, we need to move on to a very important item, and I'll say something about Casey in a minute. But, you know, we've got 2 guys leaving us today. We've got another guy leaving us today that we need to give the floor to, and I'll make some comments after he has a chance to talk. And Commissioner Regan, you have the floor.
Mr. Chairman, it is with mixed emotions that this will be my last meeting. Casey and I decided over a decade ago that when he goes, I go. Actually, I just found out he's leaving this morning. My workload has made it more difficult to attend these meetings, and I'd have to miss 3 of the next 5, and that's just not acceptable. You can't hit the pause button here. So it is, again, with mixed emotions that I'll be leaving the commission. I want to thank Governor Fallon for having the confidence, her confidence and support in submitting my name to the Senate. I want to thank Chairman Stanzlowski for carrying the nomination. And most importantly, I want to thank everybody on the ODOT team. You are my family and my friend for life. I appreciate working with the City of Tulsa, the Council of Governments, Department of Public Safety. It's just been a true honor of my life. And one of the things my favorite quote, because it's probably the only one I can remember, is it's a Teddy Roosevelt quote: "Do what you can with what you have where you are." do what you can with what you have where you are. And that's what I think we've done here, managing scarce resources to create and sustain a safe and efficient transportation system. And props go out to the ODOT team. I really appreciate it. Randall White, I want to thank you for all the service you've done, and I'll miss it greatly. So.
Did you want to say something? Well, for you guys that don't know Commissioner Regan, it's because he's very understated. No, his public service in a lot of instances has been very, very understated, and you know, you may not hear his name, but chances are he was behind, guiding, helping, doing whatever he could to see that something happened the right way. And he's been doing that for a long time. He's given his time not only to ODOT, to many other causes. He's also brings a little humor to everything he does, and we appreciate that. He's still a young man, so he's got a lot of time left. But one thing about Commissioner Regan, he has spread himself so thin, and we've been the beneficiaries of that. And for those of you that do know him, you know how important he's been, not only here, but in a lot of other places in this state and in these communities. So if you're looking for a public servant, that's the only place you got to look, because this is an example of one sitting down here at the end of the table.
Thank you very much.
Casey, we are going to miss you. You've done great things, and you helped make the 8-year plan what it is, along with your cohorts here, and we are proud of it, and we are proud of you, and we wish you all the luck. You're going to a great place, and we know we'll see you in the future.
Mr. Chairman, Commissioner, we have a kind of a tradition around here that you don't know about. People that have been so impactful as you have, we like to retire their number. The only way we have to retire a number is to present you with a Route 66 brick. So if you and your fellow commissioners could come down, I'd like to get a photograph with you and this brick. And we hope you accept this and all the affection that it comes with.
Item 106 is an executive session to review the director's performance. And we're going to have that presented by our general counsel.
Item 106 is a proposed executive session to review the director's performance and discussion of Director Patterson's salary. Under the provisions of the Oklahoma Open Meetings Act, Title 25, Section 307, executive sessions of public bodies may only be held for the purposes specifically set forth in that section and in strict conformance with the executive session process. The pertinent part of 307 provides that an executive session may be held for the purpose of discussing the employment of any individual salaried public officer. The Attorney General in AG Opinion 96-40 has determined that the word employment, as used in that portion of Section 307, is inclusive of the discussion of a salary. In order to go into executive session, the Commission must first vote to go into executive session. During this executive session, the only matter which may be discussed is, as set forth on the published agenda, consideration of the director's performance and salary. Minutes of the discussion must be kept. These minutes will be sealed and kept separately from the minutes of the regular commission meeting. During an executive session, no actions or votes can be taken. At the end of the executive session, the commission must return to open session and vote to end the executive session. It is then appropriate to make a motion concerning the subject matter of the executive session, proceed to any other business, or make a motion to adjourn. If an executive session is the will of the commission at this time, a motion for executive session is in order.
Thank you. Do we have a motion to go into
So
executive
moved.
session? Have a motion?
Second.
Have a second? Any discussion? Director Patterson, after we vote, if it's affirmative to go into executive session at some time, we'll want you to report on items directly related to your evaluation, and we'll call on you at that time. Any other discussion? Please vote. We'll see if this thing works. Look at there, it worked. Motion passes. We'll adjourn to executive session in the room right behind us. We'd hear a motion to come out of executive session.
So moved.
Second.
Have a motion and a second, and provided this works. Everybody keep pushing until it gets there. Try Commissioner Burgess again. There we go. Motion passes. We're come out of executive session, and we're at item 106. And the chair would make a motion that we raise Director Patterson's pay to $185,000 in recognition of several things. As I make the motion, I would remind everybody that Secretary Patterson, Director Patterson, has been a vital part of the department for not just a few years, but many years. Many things that's happened at the Department of Transportation take a long time from the idea to the completion of the project. And it's not just building roads, it's building professionals, it's building the organization, it's making the organization an example in the country of what a Department of Transportation should look like, and an example to other state agencies of how to glue together a group of people with a mission and accomplish it. You know, some of the things that have happened since Secretary Director Patterson took over is a smooth transition in the Oklahoma Department of Transportation that has been guided in the past by two icons, Neil McCabe and Gary Ridley. You know, I feel sorry for executives that come in behind someone that has had a large measure of success, and some predicted that Mr. Patterson would have a difficult time following the acts of Secretary McCaleb and Secretary Ridley. We've not seen that. We would congratulate him on being one of the architects of the 8-year plan, and the truth will set you free. We would congratulate him on the effort that the governor gave us with improving our situation on bridges. Where we were to where we are now is something that's quite remarkable. You know, we all have our challenges, and one of the challenges that he's had was dealing with the failure of the bridge in Lexington, and how the department worked with the public, and how we've now not only solved that bridge's problems, but have a new bridge on the way. One of the big challenges of our time is the brain drain, the staff drain that we're seeing at this department. When you have a booming economy, and when you're a Department of Transportation and you have a lot of construction going on, then the logical place to pick your professionals if you're in the private sector is at the Department of Transportation in your state. And we've seen more than our share of that. You know, we have Casey leaving today, and we've seen several key people leave the department, yet the transition has been seamless. I don't think you could find a better hand on our cooperation with the governor's office, with the legislative staffs, and with the legislators themselves, and what we've seen out of the Secretary Director Patterson. I have been well pleased, and the commission has, with how he's worked with us, how we've kept the high standards of auditing, not only internally but externally. Our efforts in that area are another example. I think how we work with the Federal Highway Administration, and just the cooperative spirit and culture that he's led is admirable. There are also things that we can improve on, like we all know. And we'll be talking with the Secretary Director and giving him our ideas of areas we'd like to see some improvement on. I can tell you that the raise that I am making a motion on today is far inadequate of what he could receive in the private sector and what I personally would recommend if I was in the private sector for his accomplishments and the responsibility that he is undertaking for the state and for this department. What I've proposed is still underpayment for the job. And I hope that our gesture gives him some confidence in what kind of job we think he's doing, however inadequate the pay that we're proposing. Most of the guys that are leaving leave easily from the Department of Transportation from a financial standpoint. The decision's not been hard for them. And with that in mind, I make the motion.
Second.
Have a second. Any discussion? Hearing none, please vote. It worked perfect that time, Mr. Secretary Director. The motion passes, and we appreciate you taking over the mantle of the Department of Transportation, and hope that you'll stay with us until you can't get in the door. If there's no other items to be brought before the commission, I'd hear a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Hearing none, please vote. Motion passes. We're adjourned.